Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Otis Frampton Live. Tonight I'm going to be coloring, doing digital colors on this piece I inked partly last night, partly today. I'm just going to jump into it. Just a reminder that tomorrow I'll be inking a Java commission, and then the following day I'll be coloring that Java commission. Tonight's piece is a... the client wanted a movie set. Obi-Wan is just doing his thing. He cuts off arms, and so this is what happens. Sorry, mate. Force of habit. That was hurtful. And now we're going to color this thing. I'm going to do the background a little more painterly. No lines. Got to fix some stuff here from the layouts. But first I'm going to color the characters. I'm going to turn the background off. Whoops. Looks like I left some of the line art in there. Let's just clean that up real quick and get back to business. Whoops. Hold on one second. Sorry, I had to ask if she could turn it down just a bit. Alright, so now we're going to turn this off. We'll turn off the dialogue balloons also, so we can focus on the characters. And let's rename this. Just FYI, I'm watching the chat as always. So if you got any questions or anything, let me know. Gentleman of Fortune on Instagram says, "Hello Otis, you were one of my first inspirations when I was starting my art journey in Java's Rule." Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Glad that you're here to watch. Okay, so I got my reference set up in the VizRef app over here on the side. All right, got some stuff. Got Obi-Wan stuff. Got Winter Soldier stuff and movie set stuff. But first, we're going to focus on dropping some flats into to Obi-Wan. So let's do Obi-Wan first. That's not red enough. I need something a little redder in the brown. There we go. That's good. Let's tweak this a bit. Tend to go a little lighter for my base colors, my local colors, as they're called, than they would normally end up being, just so I have some room to grow, room to change, I should say. Whoops. What just happened there? That was weird. Oh, it's set to... What is happening here? That's weird. Why is it selecting the entire... That is really strange. My Procreate is misbehaving. That's really strange. Threshold. I wonder why that is. Is there a setting I'm missing? That's really strange behavior for Procreate. Okay. See if I can figure out why that's going on. So automatic. Oh, that's why. I can see it up here now. Now I understand why it did that. So here's a tip for Procreate. I'd used this function earlier to fill in the dialogue balloons. Here, I'll turn them on here. And I used the line art. I set it to a reference. So that means everything else behaves according to whatever that layer is doing. So I forgot to turn off the reference. So now it should be okay. But it was selecting everything around that. Oh, that doesn't happen too often where I forget that. So this should be normal now. Turn it down a little bit. There we go. Let me fix this here. Well, that was a fun little Procreate tip, huh? Okay, Obi-Wan's hair. It's probably going to go a little longer than it normally is here. Let's adjust it. There we go. Where's my... There we go. Let's find a nice cool gray for the lightsaber hilt. We'll change some of that later. Choose a darker gray. I was trying to decide if I wanted to have like his lightsaber ignited like it was real, or you have it be sort of the gray steel of the like episode 1 era lightsabers, and I went with that because I thought that was funnier. It's like, well then how did he cut it off? It's a good question. All right, let's assemble. No pun intended. Whoops. Come on. Here we go. Now, he's not the most colorful guy, but like this image, I like that there's a little bit of blue and purple in there. So what I'm going to probably do is, select this color I just chose. Kind of use that as the base. And I'm probably going to make it a slightly bit more purple just to give us some interest, especially considering that I'm going to have a green screen behind him. It'll work well with that. I can't really use traditional flatting or like more sort of automated flatting methods for my flatting because I have a lot of open lines and it just doesn't work that way. So I tend to do my flats by hand like this. Takes more time, but it is what it is. That's the way I ink. The movie set, and then I thought, well, what if I put a green screen behind them? And I'm going to do sort of 2 different versions of the green screen. One that makes it look like it's sort of, really behind them, and another one that's just basic green, so that my client can like comp in anything he wants into that green screen area. I think that's kind of fun. Gentleman of Fortune asks, are you watching Andor, and if so, are you enjoying it? I am watching it. I'll just leave it at that. I wish I liked it more, but it's not really my cup of tea. Not really my cup of tea. Or my cup of Star Wars. Every time it cuts back to anything else, I'm just like, get back to the interesting characters. Ooh, looks like I messed up the line right there. But there are parts I enjoy. It's just not really my kind of Star Wars. So fun and pulpy. You know what I did love? I did love Skeleton Crew. I wasn't crazy about the first episode, but I continued, and by the end of the second episode, I'm like, oh, this feels more like what I want. And then after that, it was just, I loved it so much. Everything in episode 1 of Skeleton Crew was necessary, like setup to make everything else work. So I was very happy about that. And I know it looks like, I mean, he's obviously got brown hair. Maybe I should go with the brown hair to make it a little different from the monotone of this uniform. All right, now let's find a, there we go. Go with this for now. Now, let me get a look. Said, well, I'm just going to draw it the way I draw it. If it fits, it fits. I kind of gave him like an action figure, like hinge on his arm. I like that. Okay. I apologize for. Let's sample this. I apologize for not having this flatted before the show got going. Let's make him a little more pasty. There. A little more ghost-like than LB1. Okay, let's find a dark. Kind of like that. And I might, I use sort of an inked version of his raccoon eyes there, but I might erase that and go with a more colored version. We'll see. It works in the inked version, but I'm not sure I like it in the digitally colored version. Okay. Gentleman of Fortune's talking about Star Wars over here on Instagram. Yeah, you should check out Skeleton Crew. Just make sure you give it 2 episodes. 2 episodes. The first one is all set up, and it doesn't feel at all like Star Wars, but that's purposeful, and it all pays off. I promise you. I liked parts of the first season of Andor. I was reluctant to watch the second season because of the way I felt about a lot of it. It's just not my kind of Star Wars. Oops, what kind of? Oh, I forgot it. Yeah, it's a whole other kind of brown here. But so I'm gonna do my best to hurry here and get these flats finished so that I can get to the lighting of the characters, and then maybe get the background started up. I might go a little longer than I usually do tonight, just because I didn't get these flatted first. I try to get the flatting done before the show. I just couldn't make it tonight. I think it's a little saturated. Been thinking about commissions today, and the last couple of days I've had. I think I'm getting to a point where I won't be able to do traditionally inked commissions anymore. My eyesight is just terrible. It's even bad just doing this, having to sit a certain distance away from the iPad. If I can be closer to the iPad, things are okay, but I've been really struggling to ink these, and it makes me unhappy with the work, and that's just not fun. So I might have to switch to all digital commissions if people still do that kind of thing. They used to. I actually used to make a pretty good living just doing digital commissions mostly. So now his skin looks a little... Yeah, it's really close. There. So anyway, I might have to stop taking on traditional commissions. It's not working out for me. I want to dislike the work that I do, so I mean any more than I already do. What color are Ewan's eyes? We'll go with a kind of steel gray. It doesn't have to be totally accurate, right? And then when I finish up the flats, I'll alter Winter Soldier's stuff as I work on it, so that I'm not sitting here flatting the entire time. That's just not fun. Definitely starting to look more like themselves though with the color added. I'm always happy when I'm coloring, because things start to feel right. I'm not the strongest like illustrator, so Oh, but what I was gonna say about commission stuff. One thing I might do is switch to doing comic sketch covers, where I can use a bigger, like, I can just draw what I want and use a thick brush pen, you know, that kind of thing. We'll see. So he's got kind of a darker color. I'll just use that for part of it. And then some kind of red. Okay. Select that. Grab my color. Come on. Frank, hey, long time no talk. How you doing? It has definitely been a while. Hope all is well with you and yours. I am doing well, by the way. Okay. Thanks for asking. I forgot to answer that part, huh? Didn't I? I finally get to see everything take form. So I tend not to spot blacks a lot. And I'm kind of going for the stylistic approach of, you know, the beard covering everything and not showing the skin tone of the lip. It's sort of a animation thing, I guess. Doing great, no complaints. Awesome. I've seen you. You're doing pretty well in the art world. Very happy to see that. At least I think you are. I'm thinking of. If you're not, I apologize, but I swear that's what I thought. I intended to make this like he's filming Revenge of the Sith at the time or something. That's why he's got like, you know, scorch marks, and I'll probably add to that. Oh, I know what I want to do. I wanted to fix this. I got his belt wrong in the inking, but I think I can fix it here. I wondered that. It's another thing I do with the digital versions of, whoops, come on, be nice, of commissions that I do, is I get a chance to fix it in post, fix the stuff that I got wrong. There, that's better. I know how you feel. I'm sorry. Frank on Instagram says, Frank Raposa, yeah, been doing a lot, just behind the posting at all. I haven't. If you look at my feed, I haven't posted like anything because I've just been working on Patrick Girl of Oz, and it's just one of those things where if you're doing your own comic, especially, you know, like a comic for Image where you're responsible for everything, that's all you do. I mean, the last 4 months have been a blur. Just a blur. Oh, I know what I needed to do. How do I fix that? I gotta add a couple of things here. That looks better. Actually, you know, one of the things I want to do now that I'm finished with a certain amount of a little bit different publication schedule moving forward, which I'll talk about very soon on my live stream. I'm gonna have more time for other stuff, like getting back to working on Oddly Normal, my other comic series that had to sort of take a back seat because Eric Stevenson said yes to my Oz comic proposal. I'm going to get back to that and other things. But posting stuff will be nice. Remind people that I'm actually alive. Soften up some of this a little bit. Just a little bit of a soft textured brush. Okay. Ooh. Looks very yellow on the video. Huh. That's weird. Sorry, I'm trying to fix the color. Weird. Whatever. It is what it is. Gonna move on. Okay, on to Winter Soldier. I'm gonna go in actually right now and just let's just change the color slightly on a few things. It's a little too light. Let's drop that down. There we go. Just to give them a little bit of I guess that's all I can do. But what I can do though is let's do another one here. Choose dark blue. Talking to myself now. No. All right, let's merge these down. All right, that's better. Got a little bit of variation in there. One thing that might allow me to finish up the background on this is I'm going to be able to do a copy and paste because it's symmetrical. I'll add some things to make it look a little different, but otherwise it's going to be a nice symmetrical copy paste job. That wasn't intentional, it's just how it worked out. Whoops. Let's try that again. chat, so if you got anything you want to talk to me about, feel free. That's why I'm here. Ultimately, I'm going to do a little bit of do some sparks and flames coming out of his armholes. Okay. What time is it? 40 minutes in. Let's get the background line art here. There's still work to be done on the characters, but I'm going to go in here and show at least a little bit of what I'm planning to do for the background. So let's drop the opacity a lot. I'm going to paint right on top of this. I'm going to do the backdrop first here. Actually, that there. I'm going to use a darker color. It's easier to see as I'm painting it. And then when I'm done with this, I won't be keeping the line art for the background here. It's going to be much more of a painterly background. Let's do that again. Okay. Oops. Now I'm going to change it to the color I wanted it first. There, I can see a little better. Okay, let's do the green screen. I'm going to choose a color that, for the green screen at first, that's not painful to look at. I'll shift it. I'm not worrying about making it perfect. I don't want it to be perfect. I want a little wiggle in the line, a little imperfection in there. I'm actually going to put some patches, some like sewn on patches. Is there a hole somewhere? Oh, of course there was, because I didn't paint through. Ding dong. Let's try it again. There we go. It's already coming to life. Hello, Scribbler80. How you doing? Okay, so let's see. Color like this. I'm gonna have to sort of alter things from the actual line art, but that's okay. I'm just using it as a guide for this kind of thing. Whoops. Whenever I feel so much better about this piece already, just getting a little bit of color in there. Starting to see it as something other than just the horrible traditionally inked lines that I laid down. I actually did go in and re-ink the faces digitally to get a little bit more refinement in there. And one thing I also did was, I'm trying to decide if I want to fix this on the actual line art, but I realized that I had the arm cut off. I added the shoulder so it looks a little bit more realistic, and I might go and do a little paste up job on the original artwork to get the shoulder and star in there. So if my client is watching, don't worry. I know what I've done, and I might have to go in and fix it. All right, just a couple more things. This is basically just flatting the background painting at this point, and I'm just going in and laying down some colors that I can. I like it already better than the line art. One thing I decided for my comic series, my current comic series, Patchwork Vase, is that I was going to use color holds on the background lines to make it look a little bit more painterly, and it's a lot more work, but it looks so much better. I wish I'd done that without the normal all this time, because it just looks so much better. I really like the way the pages are turning out with that technique. Come on. All right. Turn that off. Okay. And I also need to turn off. Where is it? Oh, that's weird. What? Is it this? Yeah. So I have this here, but I'm going to redo this is just to sort of give me a sense of the ground plane. The entire piece is going to be full color to the edges, I think. I think I'm going to make it that way to make it look like they're in a studio. But now, okay, so now I've got the green screen flats. I'm going to group that and just call it green screen. Not Green's Teen. That's weird. Thank you, autocorrect, for that weirdness. And like I said, I'm going to Oh, I might need to do a little bit more of the green to get it. I'm going to do a copy and paste because it's symmetrical, and then I'll add some differentiating things to help make each side look a little different. But for the most part, I'm not going to sweat that too much. But let's just get this all in here. Adding some like frayed parts and some patches will help make it look a little bit less symmetrical. Okay, that's good enough for now. So, got my green screen. Let's jump in here and let's add the director's chair next. And gotta make sure it stands out. So I think I need actually, let me do something real quick. Let's see. I want to find an actual real sort of green screen look. That's close, I think, to what a real green screen looks like. So we'll go with that, just so I have the actual color I can paint against. There. Now I can choose a brown. Because I want it to be able to show up in front of it. One thing I might do to differentiate these the two sides of the background is just flat everything and then go in and do the shading individually. That way it'll look different enough. I'm not sweating it too much, but I don't want it to look, completely copy and pasted. Anybody have any questions or comments or anecdotes? Anything you want to know about Procreate or making comics? I do all my work in Procreate these days, even the lettering of the comics, so I can throw some tips your way. But like when it comes to lettering, I hand letter the dialogue balloons. Some brush that lays down sort of a base of what my dialogue balloons tend to look like, and then I can manipulate that around the lettering. But otherwise, it's when I finally do ink the balloon lines, it's all hand done, hand drawn. Trying to work a little smarter with this book. There's a lot of brick roads. A couple of brushes like that for templates that I can put down and manipulate, which it's very helpful. Instant director's chair. I can't tell you how nice it is to finally get this to a place where I can see it in color and see it, just beyond just the line art, which it's not my forte. It's just I wish I was better at it. I do try to get better at it, but I always feel like my line art needs to get saved by the coloring eventually. I just realized I drew the back wrong. Oh well. It is what it is. Alright, so we got our director's chair down. We have that group, and then between green skin director's chair, I need the light. So I'm just going to color this one solid color. Let's go with this gray for now. Might go, like I said, a little longer. Just start, so I can start to paint this thing for real. I'm not going to go with the way that I'm going with a more traditional base, so that it's not creating weird tangents. There's already too much busyness going on with the chair, so I'm just going to fake this a little bit. Kind of screwed this up on the line art. Oops. So let's fix it here. I love the second chance that digital gives you. Back up. Let's lighten these up slightly and lighten this up slightly. I'm going to make that darker in the shading, so I want it to be a little lighter for now, a little lighter than it should be. There we go. Okay, so we got our background. Let's see if we can turn off the line art. I think first thing I'm going to do is change the colors of the director's chair a little bit. It feels like it's competing with Obi-Wan, so I think we're going to go with I like the dark color there. Let's try that. Let's try. Go with this, and then we'll lighten it up. Hold on. Of course, now it's going to compete with Winter Soldier, but I just don't like how brown it is. Get a little warmer color. That's better. I think I want the pole hanging up the green screen to be slightly darker. So let's, not that dark. Here we go. Okay. And now I can see everything. It's starting to look okay. I don't think it's gonna totally suck. We don't need these background lines anymore. Let's get rid of those. I'm gonna throw them back into my layout folder. There we go. Okay. Let's get rid of all this. So the first thing we're going to do is start adding a little bit of shadow to things. So I'm going to go in here, take it down to about 40 for now. Just going to start laying in a little bit of, whoa. These all separately for now. All these little components. Just until I get a sense of what's going on here. Let's go like this. And what I'll probably do is, let's keep that, flatten it, and then just paint it. Paint each piece, just paint over each piece in a better way, more direct way. This one. Just realized I forgot to add. I guess we can do it this way. How's everyone doing? Any questions, comments? I'm watching the chat on Instagram, YouTube, and Rumble, so feel free to chime in. Alright, I'm going to do one more thing for the light, and then I'm going to move on to the other components, and I'll come back around. Whoops. There we go. Move on to the director's chair for now. What is happening here? There we go. So I'm going to be adjusting the levels and all this stuff as I go along, but it's working for now. Do one more thing and then I think I'm going to have to call it a night, as I have other responsibilities that I gotta get to. Just give this green screen a little thickness there. Just gonna touch this up. Wait, get the right brush. Get rid of these bad teeth. Okay. Come on. There we go. Nope. Let's. There we go. Right color. Right color is always helpful. I'm going to turn that down. All right, I will give this post here. Let me actually merge these down. There we go. It's a little too dark. Here we go. So still the characters might alter the face of Winter Soldier a little bit to just give him some stubble. Got to finish up Dollar Balloon in the background, obviously, but what I'm going to do here now is I'm just going to duplicate that. Whoops. Let's try that again. Wow, being stingy with the layer. Well, this is an 11 by 17 inch piece. I wonder if I can get rid of some of these layer management, but for now, let me just do this. Oops. Where did you go? There he is. Just so I can show you, sort of where's. There it is. Sorry, can't find my own files. All right. Just gonna paste that. There we go. So, gonna look something like that when it's. I'm not sure. Now that I see it like this, I also got to fix the floor. I might. We'll see. It's starting to come together. So lots to do on it, but it doesn't look as terrible as it did to me about 5 minutes before I started the show. Let me catch up on some chat here. Let's see. Mephisto86, great work as always. Thank you for doing a live stream. Mephisto86, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. He said, Mephisto says, it's oddly relaxing watching you work in real time. I get that a lot. I kind of have this sort of Zen thing going on. Whoa, what's happening in the video? The video's freaking out. To check that out. I think I might have lost my feed on YouTube. Might be a good time to stop. All right. Anyway, this is where we're at with this. When I'm finished with it, I will post the completed piece and to my friend Aaron, who bought this commission for his friend. I hope you like what you're seeing so far. It's almost done. All right. So I'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central to do a new Java piece, a new Java commission. And that'll be for the next touch-ups and finish-ups on older commission work at 2 p.m. So I'll see you then. Happy little green screen. Happy little green screen. That is correct. Thank you all so much. Take care. Have a good night.